Hi Cancers, and welcome to your May 2021 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to talk to you about the energies coming in for your sign in May. So really nice build up coming in for Cancer. It feels like you are really building up to something, like you are kind of right at a precipice of a new life or a new way of being. Very big sense of turnover, very big sense of cellular turnover coming in for Cancer in the month of May 2021. I think that Taurus season is going to be super healing for you. And I think that Gemini season really is not going to be that overwhelming at all either, because Gemini season this year collectively feels to be very good, like healthier, collective and general Gemini energy than we've had in a long time. So for many of us, we're going to be seeing a type of positive, healthy Gemini energy that we might not be familiar with. So I think as a Cancer person, to really look forward to a new level of communicative clarity, to really look forward to a lot of clicking in your mind and a lot of like understanding and communication with yourself, because Cancer rules the self and Gemini rules communication. So a new type of self-communication coming in for you this month is a highlight. Okay. And that's going to really materialize probably in June, but it's being catalyzed here in May. And there is a little bit of a hurdle in May. For some people, it's even late April, like the last week of April, even to me feels like a super strong purgative energy, actually, or a potential to really get a glimpse of the chaos that one is capable of placing by their own means into their own lives. Though that can also like relegate to like the third week of May as well, or the fourth week of April. Okay, so either like the end of April or third week of May can just really be a fine example of what we've created and what we want to maybe alter or adjust within our creations. But anyway, Cancers, for those of you who've been subscribed to my channel for a while, you probably know that I talk about intuitive messages first, then I talk about the week to week, and then I do an extended reading on Patreon, which is linked below. But other intuitive messages that I'm feeling for the sign of Cancer for May is that you want to really start to innovate areas of your life that were too difficult. So if you've been able to see in the month of April that you maybe set yourself up for too much, that you maybe signed up for too much, that you maybe took on too many hours, or even took on relationships or people who were just totally not really harmonious, you want to really see that coming into May. You want to really not hide or avert the truth of what you chose to put into your life, because Cancer is becoming more and more powerful every day. Cancer is really getting a lot more control over the levers of their own lives, and that's been happening since like the end of 2020. But by late April and into May of 2021, I think that it starts to get really tangible, and then that's going to really pinnacle in June. Okay, like the material examples of what choices Cancer has made, of what levers Cancer has pulled in their lives, like focusing on different sectors, focusing on career, health, money, all of that stuff. As I've talked about, as many of you have heard, I don't want to be a broken record, but it's just so important. We want to get a more comprehensive focus on our lives. So not really just focusing in areas like, okay, I'm going to focus on my health, I'm going to focus on my money, I'm going to focus on my relationship, because I've noticed that things adjacent start to go into disrepair when we focus. So we've got to kind of get a comprehensive thing where every action is kind of affecting everything, where our studies or our jobs are positively impacting our health and relationships, where our relationships are positively impacting our jobs and health, allowing yourself to, I guess for lack of a better cliche, like kill two birds with one stone, like through your focus on different healthy sectors of your life, like being able to focus on career and health and relationship, all with singular actions, seems to be like a huge level up for you now. As you're not really wasting time this month, it looks like you're not wasting time. It looks like you're really getting expert opinions. You're making new friends. You're not wasting time in solitude, it looks like. And there is also a call to embrace honesty in a new way, to clean things up, to heal up unclear experiences in your life. And, as we finish Taurus season and hit Gemini season in late May, I'm sensing that a lot of you have a really dramatic emotional transition that happens, okay? And when I say emotional transition, I mean like how you emote, how you regard certain aspects of your life, what experiences have led you to where you now stand. The way that you view all of that really differentiates itself in the third week. You have that, as you can see, the Ten of Swords and Six of Swords energy both coming up. So I just really want to highlight the third week of May for you before we even go into the month of May, just as an understanding that time might need softness, okay? That time might need freedom of motion, or as much time as you can have to just feel it out, okay? We're getting closer and closer to Cancer season, and the closer that a Cancer gets to Cancer season, the more it needs to be able to just like sit and feel things out. So definitely watch out for signing up for too much. Watch out for, I'm hoping by the end of April, you've been able to kind of like be done with maybe the busiest part of your year, actually. And it will be a nice relief for you to be able to really set space for yourself in the third week of May, because the fourth week you're a healed person in a lot of ways. So something is really drastically making some changes, because the energy that I just feel for Cancers in general is not really a healed energy coming out of April. It's kind of a damaged energy, not for all Cancers, but I just want to say, like, even as someone who has Cancer energy myself, I feel by the end of April that some things have not really been properly arranged, or some things kind of were haphazard, and it's created a sort of fragmentation. And however, by the end of May, that seems to be totally worked through. So what it takes to get from point A to point B in that equation, you want to really be as strong and healthy as you can for that. It doesn't seem like trauma to me. Again, Ten of Swords is reversed, so that usually means like avoiding a trauma or getting out of situations before they become problems. So I'm not sensing a huge troublesome situation. I would say, if I would be really clear if that's what I was seeing. It's more of just an experiential aha moment, or a observation of stillness that does catalyze a shift in you. It's a lot of what the year of 2021 is. 2021 is not a year of trauma. It's not a year of accidents or unexpected crazy things. It's more like very monk-like realizations through softer experiences, okay? The quietness of things really speaks, okay, in this year. So let's get into this week to week, though. First week, Cancer, you've got Page of Swords rooted down by King of Swords, air energy, Gemini season. You got to lighten up your mind frame. You got to not get heavy in your mind. You've got to maybe be very open to the humanity of other people, to be very open to the mistakes that other people have made, from the sense that you don't want to really hold grudges. I definitely want you to look at grudges this month. I want you to look at struggles with forgiveness, because really a struggle to forgive is only let's be really honest here, Cancer. Not being willing to forgive is a self-destructive tendency. Forgiveness is only really beneficial to who he or she who forgives. Okay, forgiveness is not really to benefit the person who has forgiven, and forgiveness is not also about communicating that forgiveness to said person. But forgiveness is, I think, about allowing yourself to be elevated out of those old previous situations. So forgiveness means different things to different people. I should make a whole video on it, probably another video for another time. But forgiveness is coming up for you this month, okay? And maybe it's really at the self level too. Maybe it's not really about anyone else. Maybe it's more about giving you more ease, okay? Lightness, not getting too polarized in your thoughts. Like, I could do this, I could change this, I could start this business, I could end that business, I could, I'm sensing that your mind is kind of jumping around. And the first week of May is about making a really adept mind and making a really adept self-communication process. Beware of catastrophizing things. Beware of communicating worst case scenarios in the name of preparation or something. Okay, just food for thought. Okay, week 2, you've got the moon rooted down by 3 of Cups. You want to watch out for being delusional with other people. I just got to really put it out there, frank, like that. The moon and 3 of Cups, I don't like that conversation. On one hand, that can be like really nice, nocturnal, friendly gatherings. That's the positive of it. The negative of it is like being delusional with other people, like succumbing to gossip, succumbing to, false groupthink, succumbing to ideations of other people because that's like humorous in the moment. Like, really pay attention to how friends or acquaintances are changing the way that you interact. This is a funny thing. I saw this in Taurus's reading too. It's probably not going to resonate for everyone, but there is something, I think, with this Jupiter, Saturn, and Aquarius, and the transits that it's interacting with right now, that is creating situations where people are being really swayed by the opinions of others, or I guess the concept of groupthink is kind of becoming more strong, okay? Because, again, Aquarius rules over the collective consciousness. So it makes sense with Saturn being there, really rigidifying groupthink. So I don't think that Cancer is as affected by it because, again, the angle from Aquarius to Cancer is not a very direct one. So you might kind of be on the outside looking in certain situations. You might feel like you're not really matching other people, and I wouldn't get too worried about that, but keep yourself aware of like when other people are like lying to you, okay? The moon is also about dishonesty. So is there a need to lie to yourself in order to appeal to a certain friend group that you have? Is there a need to like indulge in delusions with other people? Is there a need to speak bad about other people as a sort of construct of a certain friend group? That's really prevalent, okay? The need to put other people down behind their back becoming like the only thing that keeps certain people together in friend groups. The need to gossip being the only construct that has ever stuck people together. That's what that combination is indicative of to me. So I think not only is that like a Cancer thing, but maybe you guys are really stepping forward as like healers of those types of experiences. Maybe that's what you're being called forth to do, is to like create new healthy constructs that keep people together, like healthy eating, mantras, positive self-talk, not toxic positivity, but there is a push towards positivity for you. And I'm absolutely not a toxic positive type of, intuitive. Like, I understand that positivity is not like the way every time, it can be negative in its way. Like anything that's hyper-focused inverts. So hyper-focused negativity can invert positive and vice versa. Another video for another day, but we're just kind of having a stream of consciousness here, Cancer. I think that Cancer's lives could do with a little bit dose of positivity at this time, and you'll feel it in the third week. 10 of Swords reversed, rooted down by 6 of Swords. And that's where you really see it, lies and we'll call it forays into unreal, situations, forays into, gossiping about things that are not, okay, does lead to a lot of pain, and it leads to like betrayal, because then you find out that these people are like doing that to you too, and they have like other friend groups that are connected and bound by these constructs that, maybe might be talking about you in the same way. It's like, it's never ending, and it's like not really that big of a deal either. It's not something to like get upset about. It's not something to like freak out about, it's not something that's like rocket science either, to like know that people who only gossip and talk bad about people also then talk bad about every other single person when they're not there. I'm thinking that a lot of people, or a lot of cancers, might just kind of realize that some other people really are not for them. Okay, so Six of Swords is about a change in location. Some of you are moving in the third week and it's positive. Okay, that's a very positive thing for a lot of cancers. And also some of you might be ending relationships, especially like friendship relationships, I'm feeling. Or you might even look back over the last year and be like, wow, the people that I have in my life now are very different than the people that I had in my life before. And is that for the better? Is it genuine? Are things genuine? That's something, okay, I'm getting chills. As someone with Cancer in my chart too, like the concept of genuine is something that I think that we all need to think about in the month of May. Are things genuine at this time? Are things real? Is there a mask? Is there like a mask of like cosmetic wellness over something that it's not, you know? Let's really think about what is genuinely real in our lives in the third week of May. And that seems to really strike a chord with you guys. And by the fourth week, Three of Pentacles rooted down by the Sun, you're golden. You're having a lot of healing if you allow yourself to lighten up your mind. Okay, lighten up, and through healthy diet, through alkaline habits, you can clean up your tendencies. Then also through getting truthful and honest, understanding the humanity of other people, understanding the imperfection of everyone, not keeping those standards so high to where you resent imperfection, though not having standards so low to where you allow deceit in your life. Okay. That seems to be the balance. And I know we're all kind of trying to do that, like easier said than done, but just kind of speaking back to yourself and being like, okay, I can really tell when I'm not allowing anybody the freedom of being an imperfect human in my life. I can tell when my standard is too high, but then also I can tell when my standard is too low, and I'm like allowing a lot of, dishonest, even like delusional people to curb how I think too. Okay. Understanding that scale. Okay. And then making the appropriate transitions and shifts is like the consecutive chain of events to a healed cooperative Cancer. Okay. There's something about cooperation. There's something about teamwork coming up for you in the fourth week. There's something about admiring things with other people. New friend groups, new projects, new creative projects are a great thing for you to focus. Things that don't have to do with money either. So I'm not just talking career. Although some entrepreneurs could also like band together and like create a business. Like that seems possible, but it's really not for money. It's really not for career. It seems like more for the art. And that's when things really become profitable. Yes, but let's not think about it that way. Let's think about creating really nice things in teamwork. I think that can be really good for you. And if it's not teamwork, I think it's allowing your body, allowing your health to be something that is a cooperative for you, or something that you're cooperating with yourself with, okay? Cancer gets in its own way sometimes. Cancer can tend towards self-deprecation, foods and diets that are destructive. Let's overcome that here and now, Cancer. The sun is coming in, so it's all going to clear up. It's all going to really be obvious, like what's not good. There's not going to be any hiding from things, okay? It's going to be really clear. If your best friend is like delusional and crazy, okay, or your quote unquote best friend, it's going to be really clear okay, and that's conditionally. Like it doesn't mean that you need to start going and questioning like, oh my gosh, are the people around me like not clear? This is something that this is something, if it is the case, because again, we have to understand these are general readings. A lot of people are hearing it, and I have to be really clear that like it's not to make people think that like, oh my gosh, are the people around me lying? No, when you're so intuitive, when like lies, or when anything like that is coming into your life, and it's up to us to be able to tell when that is happening, and not get stuck in our own minds of like, well, is it happening, is it not happening? If it's happening, and if you know that it's happening, I think it's really important to see it for what it is and to not play those games, okay? So don't play those games, Cancer. Get healthy, get real. Let this chain of events heal you and very, very elevating ascending energy for you. Okay. I really love to see it. It is kind of demanding. It's kind of really demanding you to be that highly evolved, highly curated Cancerian person. Otherwise, there's just sort of this kind of like low level isn't the right word. It's more like there's kind of just this drudgery to an existence that can come through if we don't allow ourselves to see people for who they are, if we don't allow ourselves to move on from things that are outworn, and if we don't allow ourselves a like lighter self-communication process. So let's talk more about that in the extended reading, Cancers. I'm going to go ahead and quickly move over to Patreon and do that. The Patreon service is so great. I do weekly forecasts, okay, every week on Saturday, which are only available over there. And I do these readings early, ad-free, and extended on Patreon. So it's a really great comprehensive service, and it's very reasonable. So let's check that out now. As always, your likes, comments, and subscribes here on YouTube also make my day. Thank you so much for the support, and happy May 2021. Let's do that extended now on Patreon, Cancers. See you soon. Bye.